Hello, and welcome back to the King of Diamonds channel. Yes, the Christmas hat is back because it is currently Christmas Eve, and we all must await for good old Saint Nick to break into our houses. I was kind of not sure what to talk about for this video because I wanted to have a Christmas special, and I wanted to review something special to me, some sort of cool movie, and I already did a video about Nightmare Before Christmas earlier, so that was a wasted opportunity. So I almost did a video about Edward Scissorhands because I know that this is my first Christmas special and I thought maybe I should talk about my favorite movie of all time. But even though it has Christmas moments in that film, I wouldn't consider it to be a Christmas movie.
What?
So I decided to do my other favorite Christmas movie. The Grinch. Who Stole Christmas? Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, starring Jim Carrey. Yeah. Alright, let's get right into this. Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas is a family Christmas movie and was created by Universal Pictures. It released in 2000 and stars Jim Carrey, Taylor Momsen, Christine Baranski, Josh Ryan Evans, Jeffrey Tambor, Molly Shannon, Bill Irwin, Clint Howard, Bryce Dallas Howard, Mindy Sterling, Rick Baker, Deep Roy, Landy Albright, Anthony Hopkins, TJ Thien, blah blah. This movie has always been really special to me ever since I was a little kid. I remember when I was first shown Jim Carrey films, I think around 11, maybe 12, and I loved it so much, but one of the movies I got to see before that age, when I was even younger than that, was The Grinch, because it was the only family-friendly Jim Carrey movie. I didn't even know it was him. I thought it was some dude, but even then, it kind of freaked me out. His performance, I mean, like, genuinely scared me a little bit when I was young, but I was sort of okay with that, and I thought it was cool at the same time, even though it freaked me out. His performance specifically is a thing that just absolutely carries this whole movie, and I know that there's a lot of criticisms that people throw at this movie. A lot of people don't like it. I think I recall watching a Nostalgia Critic review a couple years ago that was talking about how he didn't really like the movie. I think it was a couple of years ago, I could be wrong. But honestly, it's probably just nostalgia for me, or bias, I guess, because I watched it so young and have loved it for such a long time that I just don't really care about a lot of the flaws that people point out of it. I know it's not the most accurate version of The Grinch, and there has probably been more accurate versions done in the past, specifically with cartoon adaptations and such, that I think I recall seeing stuff from when I was a kid. But even if I watched a better adaptation, I feel like I'd never enjoy it to the same extent because it doesn't have Jim Carrey. He was so incredible in this role, and the stuff that he had to do to get his performance out was intense, to say the least. The set design is incredible. The story is told in, I think, a fairly cool and interesting way. And I like all of the makeup designs for all of the Whos. It looks great. It looks strange, but great. From memory, the book How the Grinch Stole Christmas didn't really talk too much about the Whos themselves or follow any specific Whos. It just sort of talked about the Grinch's story and what he was doing. And then this movie has characters like Cindy Lou, where you actually get to know one of the Whos, and it becomes an emotional anchor for the Grinch to latch onto, for him to learn his lesson at the end of the movie, where he realizes that Christmas is about more than presents and, you know, decorations and stuff. It's about family and having a good time with each other and spending time with each other, etc., all that cheesy stuff. And this movie even threw in a little bit of a backstory for the Grinch, where we show the Grinch as a kid, and that was probably the part of the movie that weirded me out the most when I was younger, because this movie sets up a lot of beef between him and the mayor of Whoville and, you know, his wife. And considering all this stuff that I've just laid out on the table and I'm discussing now, this movie is a very packed experience, to say the least, and there's a lot of stuff in it that wasn't in the books, and there's a lot of stuff that was in the books that is now in here or is expanded on. And I can see why people would think it's a bit of a mess, and, you know, maybe it is, but I still think it's a cohesive film for the most part, and, you know, despite its flaws, everything it does well, it does really, really well, and I think it was important for them to nail the character of the Grinch for this movie to be likable, especially with his introduction at the very start of the movie. Fantastic. When we see all the Who's like going up onto the mountain and be like, oh, I heard there was a Grinch that lives up here or something like that. And then he just comes out of nowhere and scares him. And I just thought, you know, it's cool because they introduce him as if he's some sort of horror villain. And then you find out at the end of the movie, like, oh no, he's just like really traumatized. This video has been a bit blabby today. I just wanted to talk about the movie and discuss why I liked it, because it's Christmas and I cannot be bothered writing any script or anything for this. To be quite honest, I only write a script very rarely for these videos. But yeah, I'm very excited to rewatch it again at some point, probably tomorrow. I reckon I'll watch it for Christmas Day. I hope you all have a blessed Christmas and, you know, pick a favorite Christmas movie to watch to celebrate with your family. But yeah, How the Grinch Stole Christmas is a movie, and it does exist, and you can watch it. Anyway, bye!